the theme of it's never too late. If we look at our lives and in the pattern and in the way it flows, we can look at different times of our life where we've reached a place where we sometimes feel, I don't know if I'm able to do that. I don't know if I have the energy to do that. I don't know if I'm too old to do that, too young to do that. And we have a milestone that comes up in our lives, and sometimes we don't feel authentic in pursuing those things that we feel or we want to do at certain times of our lives. And then yet certain times it just flows and there's an awakening and a growth that happens. And that can happen at any age. So it's really not a predetermined outcome, right? It's not based on, not solely on past actions, but rather the potential for transformation that's available to all. And if we believe in ourselves, right? If we have a specific belief system that we can manifest something and look at our lives and see where we're at, and when everything falls in place and we reach that feeling that our belief system is no longer getting in the way of the way we were raised or what society says, but we just look at a flow and we feel comfortable in doing something, then we wind up reaching that potential. So the feeling of never feeling that something is too late for us to accomplish is a big milestone for us to deal with. Sometimes we judge other people that they've done something that we're now in a position that we've shamed them or judged them. And so it would seem like a difficult thing to then do something that we've held other people back in doing. And what happens is we sometimes really hurt ourselves in the process instead of judging someone else. So what we really want to do is we want to look at our lives and we want to try to fulfill some of the goals we have, some of the desires we have, whether it be writing a book, whether it be learning to paint, or different examples that express our creativity. The main thing is to understand that we're all creative, that we all have a potential to be creative, and that we can express it in different ways. It doesn't have to be like the next person you know and then compare yourself to that person and say, oh, I can't do it because I can't do what they're doing. The fact of the matter is that we all have to find our own potential within ourselves and then act upon it. So our soul doesn't have a specific age, right? And our body can get older, or it could be at a certain place in life. But what's important is for us to really, really forge forward and try to fulfill some of our goals. It's interesting, I had a conversation with one of my friends. We were discussing some of the things that I like to do, like photography. And you know, you want to be a motivation. You want to spring other people, you spring people forward in their pursuit of their creativity. And so by you being an example, you forging forward and whatever satisfies your soul, then people see the authenticity that comes from you, and it helps them to be able to do that and find it in themselves. You know, sometimes you have the parent that gets in the way that says you can't do this, you can't do that, and that becomes the inner voice for ourselves. And when we override or we investigate that, then we realize it's really not us. It's the way we were looked upon, the way we were judged, something we painted or something that we did that wasn't good in the eyes of our parents or our guardians. And so in terms of what we're doing here today is we're going to go on a journey. And when I'm drumming, what drumming is doing is, if you're new here, is basically putting your mind in a more of a meditative state for you to be open, to push your ego aside and for allow the information to flow through. And so by the drumming, you'll either close your eyes, lie down, or sit up. And when you're in that position, you can cover your eyes with something so the light doesn't distract you. And then we could go on the journey and find whatever information is relevant towards the question of it's never too late. So the question is, what's never too late for you? And what's relevant to you in that case? So we'll drum to that. We'll go on a journey. And what I usually tell people to do is, if you've been doing this, what you know is there's a spirit animal, an animal that comes through as a representation of the energy of what is being presented. And each animal has a specific energy that it's presenting itself with. And see what animal comes through, if anything does come through, and what sights, what smells, what you hear. And then we'll return back from the journey and finish up. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in. Try to lie down, sit up with your eyes closed. And exhale. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Take a deep breath in one more time. And exhale. And let's go on our journey and just relax. We walk into a beautiful forest. The sun is shining on our face. We take a deep breath in, and we can smell the pine emanating from the pine trees. And as we walk this path, we hear the birds whistling. And the fallen leaves crunching underneath our feet. Up ahead is a cave. And we see the darkness. And as we approach the cave, we use our hands to navigate through, looking and seeing the light from the other side. As we exit the other side, we look around left and right. What does it look like? And where are you? You continue walking on the path. When suddenly you hear a noise from behind. You turn around and you see a spirit animal. What animal do you see? You look at the animal and you ask it, what's not too late in your life now to accomplish? your spirit animal as you head back for the cave, entering its darkness, using your hands to navigate, and seeing the light from the other side as you continue on the original path. The sun at your back and the warmth as you take a deep breath in and you stop in front of an oak tree on the right. You put your hands around the tree to exchange energy as the tree absorbs your positive ions and balances out your body. You feel the energy flowing as you look up to the tree and thank it. You release your hands and walk back on the trail out of the forest. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Move your fingers, move your toes, shrug your shoulders, and when you're ready, come back into the room. Okay, this was Shamanic Journey number 97 to It's Never Too Late. And as we look back in situations in our lives and as we go forward in this life, it's important for us to know that we don't want to allow our belief systems or anybody's viewpoints to get in the way of our own development in our own creativity, in our development. And sometimes there are different people that came into our lives that halted that ability for us to look at ourselves authentically. But as we progress, look at some of the things in your life that you'd like to do now or you're challenging yourself to do. And always recognize that it's never too late, no matter what age you are, or no matter what position you are. You can still carry a weight on your back, but in spite of it, you can still find ways to develop your creativity and find things that nurture your soul. So I want to thank you for joining me today on this journey. And if you're listening on the replay, I hope you enjoy it as well. And I hope the information is relevant in your life right now. And I hope you have a great evening. Okay, take care.